Welcome on this video. Warning, I advise you to stay concentrated during all this video, because I would like to send you a message. I respect all opinion about this topic and I am interested to know your opinion. You can comment this video at the end. My name is Agathe. I come from France. I'm 27 years old. My profession is nurse in France, but in the world, I am a volunteer. I am doing a break in my profession and I am doing an European Solidarity Corps project. So, actually, I am to Greece, more precisely next to Thessaloniki, to do a volunteering to Dras Ζωή organization. It means Action for Wildlife. You can find the website on the description. It is a rehabilitation center of wild animals. I have this mission, to do a personal project. This video is my Dras Ζωή project. Good listening. Thanks.
Hey, I hope you enjoy this short animated. I do not have a budget to do this, so I hope you understand the story that I would like to share. Ask yourself, have you already lived this situation when you were children? Perhaps. Me, I have already experienced it when I was child. I lived in the countryside in my parents' house. We saw a bird on the floor in very bad shape and we tried to give it some water. We put it in a showbox with a towel, but it was not a success because it unfortunately died a few hours later. So with this short animated movie, I would like to show you that humans now have some methods to save the wildlife, the environment, the fauna and flora of our Earth. But can we adapt? We can see that people often take initiative to take some action for wild animals, for plants, for trees, for the conservation of nature. They do this without the goal of searching for good behaviors, without being a specialist, but just with instinct and some knowledge that we can find on internet. It is a new behavior of people with the chance to have this opportunity, to have a fast answer with the help of the internet. But on the other hand, this can be also a danger. Next, I would like in this video to show you the diversity in our planet, to display the differences for each living being compared to humans. After, I would like to explain you the apparition of this human syndrome, which would like to save the environment and the wildlife fauna and flora. Also, I would like to show the consequences, positive and negative, of all the humans' behavior faced to this culpability, and to finish with the best way to take care of wildlife in general. More precisely, I want to discuss the wildlife animals because, like I explained you at the beginning, I am volunteering in a rehabilitation center of wildlife. So I would like, in this video, to shine light on all the rehabilitation centers of wildlife that I know in each country. There are many, but often we don't know of their existence. I also want, with this podcast video, to create awareness by giving information and preventions on this topic. So, my topic is to create awareness on the fact that we are not saviors alone on this planet, but saviors together, where we know and when we work in team. The best way is to know when we are vulnerable to an action and when to delegate this action to a qualified organization. Earth with all its riches. I want to begin at the start, with the world's immense geographical spaces, the diversity of its environments, its climates, its meaning and energy resources, its millions of animal and plant species, its population with different lifestyles. The Earth presents through its diversity a prodigious mineral heritage, energetic, biological and cultural aspects that man has learned to exploit. The rapid development of technologies has increased tenfold the means implemented for this exploitation. Do you know what biodiversity means? The word biodiversity is formed from the prefix bio, which means life in Greek, and the term diversity, which signifies variety. Biodiversity refers to the living fabric of our planet. This notion covers the different forms of living species, which populate the earth, animals, species, plants, bacteria, microorganisms, etc., and the natural environments, forests, oceans, lakes, mountains, etc., which constitute it, but it isn't limited to this. Biodiversity also refers to all the interaction existing between these organisms and those between these organisms and their environment. It was the American scientist and biologist Edward Osborne Wilson who first established the use of this word in 1984. However, it was during the Earth Summit in Rio in 1992 that the term biodiversity was truly popularized. So the Earth has a biodiversity that we manage to take care of, to respect even if there is consistent exploitation of these riches by humans. In each part of the earth, there are differences in the plant, animals, minerals, microorganisms, the environment, and in human cultures. So overall, this planet is composed of significant differences. The differences between human and animal. Humans, Homo sapiens, are the most numerous and widely distributed primate species. They are distinguished by their bipedalism and large, complex brains. This has resulted in the advancement of technology, culture, and language. Humans are highly social creatures who often live in complicated social systems made up of several cooperating and competing groups, ranging from families and kinship networks to political states. Human interaction have resulted in the development of a diversified collection of values, social conventions, and rituals that underpin human society. Curiosity and the human drive to comprehend and control the environment, as well as to explain and manage occurrences, have fueled the development of science, philosophy, mythology, and religion, and many other fields of study. Animals. Animals are eukaryotic multicellular creatures that belong to the kingdom Animalia. With rare exceptions, animals ingest organic matter, breathe oxygen, are capable of movement, can reproduce sexually, and undergo an ontogenetic stage during embryonic development, during which their body is composed of a hollow sphere of cells called the blastula. Over 1.5 million extant animal species have been discovered and described, approximately 1 million of which are insects. However, it is estimated that there are over 7 million total animal species. Animals measure between 8.5 micrometers and 33.6 meters in length. They form huge food webs due to their intricate interactions with another and with their surroundings. Zoology is the study of animals from a scientific perspective, so you can see the differences on the table below and also can listen to the description of these differences that Sofia, the veterinarian addressee that we work with every day during our volunteering, is answering on this podcast. Good listening.
So, hey Sofia, at first could you present yourself?
Yes, hello, Agathe. My name is Sofia Prusali. I'm a veterinarian, and I'm the responsible vet in this association, in this wildlife hospital, for many years now. I have an experience of more than 20 years on wildlife rehabilitation and care.
Okay, nice. So you work in Greece. So more precisely, where do you work? In which center? And what is your center? What is the action of your center? And to Greece, how many rehabilitation centers there are?
At the moment, I work at the Action for Wildlife, the name of our rehabilitation center. It is in northern Greece, close to Thessaloniki. This center receives the wildlife animals that are hurted or injured or orphans for many reasons, that people find them in nature, and they bring us here for care. And in Greece, there are 3 rehabilitation centers that receive more or less all kinds of animals, including birds, mostly birds, and some smaller mammals like foxes and hedgehogs and some squirrels, and also reptiles like snakes and mostly turtles, ground turtles. And those are 3 in total in Greece. And there are the other rehabilitation centers that are specified for the species, like Arcturus, which is specified for wolves and bears. And there is MOM, which is specified for the seals. There is Ethellon, that is a specific wildlife hospital for sea turtles, like careta and other species. In general, and there is also an association, Arion, which is for the big sea mammals, like dolphins and others.
Okay. And now, could you tell me the differences between humans and animals in general?
Yes, in general, humans are the ones that have to protect all the nature and the animals. Then we can think and we can take decisions other than what our instincts show us.
Okay.
So for me, I think this is the main difference, that we have the option to follow other roads than our instincts leads us.
Yes. And to take care about humans and to take care about animals, what is the difference? Okay. And now, could you tell me the differences between humans and animals in general?
Yes, in general, humans are the ones that have to protect all the nature and the animals. Then we can think and we can take decisions other than what our instincts show us.
Okay.
So for me, I think this is the main difference, that we have the option to follow other roads than our instincts leads us.
Yes. And to take care about humans and to take care about animals, what is the difference?
Okay, take care of animals. We don't have. When we take care of animals, we don't have the possibility, the option to ask the animal what is the problem. Something that you can do with people. People can express or lead you somehow in what is their problem. Maybe not children, or babies, but adults or young people can give you some directions. So when you are treating an animal, you have to be very precise and very listening and focusing on every little detail, so that you can go to the right direction for the diagnosis.
Okay.
And of course, you have to take a good history of visit to ask the person that found the animal as much information as possible.
And I imagine you don't care in the same way a fox than a bird.
That is another very different, very big gap, because each animal, its species, and between the species there are differences, between the species, but between the individuals of the same species, there are many, many differences. So yes, you have to have knowledge for a very wide field.
Yeah, lots.
In conclusion, for the table in this interview, you can see that humans all have the same physical composition in terms of the skeleton, muscle, tissues, organs, lymphatic and venous system, metabolism and catabolism. A doctor can take care of all people. The only thing that will differentiate the medical care is the illness. If a person has a lungs disease, they will go see a pulmonologist, but any human suffering from a lung problem can be treated by a pulmonologist. So you see what I mean. For animals, this is not the case. All species are different. Their composition and their functioning are not the same. Each animal needs a different veterinarian specializing in their species. Can you see the complexity of taking care of animals? Even with this complexity, we want to save the world, the environment, the wildlife animals without all of this knowledge.
Thinking of being a savior, the thought of humans. During our century, we see that our mindset and our thinking are more on the path of wanting to improve our planet. We have become conscious about the worst action that humans did in the past and continue to do. We know that, even if the question linking to the financial, economic and social crisis that we are going through are preponderant ecological questions, sustainable development and more particularly that of climate change remain issues. Major societal concerns, the fight against climate change constitute one of the political priorities in the French context as well as the international level, despite the recurring difficulties encountered during international negotiations. The fight against the greenhouse effect is gradually taking hold in our daily lives, relayed by the media, awareness campaigns and fueled by the occurrence in recent years, particularly in France, of meteorological events often attributed to climate change. The unexpected success of environmentalist political parties in Europe, notably that of Europe Ecology in France in the European election of June 2009, and its good scores in the French regional election of 2010, also shows the increase in citizen environmental concerns. Unfortunately, not all countries are like this, of course. Some still aim to increasing the economy, which does little to develop health, social, and other questions about the environment. Nowadays, it is almost impossible to escape the fiction, the various mainstream television shows, and the various types of media coverage to which climate change gives rise to. Their analysis is even more interesting, as they are part of the long history of socio-discursive imaginations around issues linked to climate and more generally environmental risks. So, I would like to show you all the bad action of humans in the past and why the humans now feel guilty and want to proactive to help the natural environments around us. At first, the fashion effect. For example, someone is going to adopt an Australian Shepherd because it is the most popular dog this year, but they don't know how to take care of it and know how it functions. That it is a large reason why there are a lot of abandoned or stray dogs, cats, and other domestic animals. The COVID pandemic amplified this because a lot of people adopted domestic animals to not be alone during the quarantine, however they abandoned them after the social restrictions were disbanded. 2. The mindset that considers that the animals will meet honor of our needs. Thinking this way results in an object relationship toward the animal. It is important to understand that we adopt an animal because we want to, and because we are interested in learning to live with and love that animal. There are a lot of psychological disorders due to the guilt of wanting to save animals, but also the fact of considering the animals as something that fulfill our needs. You will be able to see animals hoarding in more detail. Animal hoarding is a term which refers to the act of accumulating several animals in one's home when one cannot house, feed, and care for them properly. This behavior can be considered a form of mistreatment, even if collectors perceive themselves in benefactors. These people are often attached to their animals and do not plan to part with them. So with this behavior and this syndrome, there are a lot of consequences for the animals. Then, the practice of betting games with animals. Dogfighting, cockfighting, greyhound racing, and horse racing, for example, but also hunting, fishing, and the animal-related competitions. Fashion and luxury industry use animals' parts, like ivory for jewelry and decoration, wild animals' fur for clothes, and much more. Tourism with aquariums, not suitable for marine species, the sale of goldfish in plastic bags at fairs, festivals, circuses with their mistreatment of animals. There are also laboratory tests carried out on numerous monkeys, rabbits, mice for domestic products. The consumer society is devastating with intensive breeding where respect and kindness for animals do not exist, tests on animals to create more product, devastating the environment of animals to have oil palm, killing certain animals like whales to obtain lipstick and other cosmetics, etc. So, we are the destroyer, but we want to be the savior. For what? Because we are finally becoming aware of the consequences of our consumer society. We are becoming aware of what we do every day. All its consequences are finally publicized, disclosed, and laid out on the table. Today, there are many activist demonstrations to raise awareness, to warn and inform the population about what we put our nature through every day. Activists are fighting against the big fossil fuel industries, against policies that only benefit the economy. Numerous studies have also supported the termination of animal abuse with the fact that animals feel stress, pain, and empathy just like humans. We are not above them. We must see life as a space of harmony and not domination of others.
Today we know that we are guilty, helpless and frustrated. We want to find this harmony. That is why the new generation are putting action in place for the environment, and that's why humans try to help nature even without knowing how to do it correctly. Human behaviors face to its culpability. Humans want to feel less powerless in the face of environmental issues, and when the opportunity presents itself, when they can be useful, feel less guilty. When they can be a good Samaritan, they jump at the chance. However, being a good Samaritan can be defined by doing a good deed with charity, being kind to others, helpful. However, is not described by doing a good deed with knowledge. Altruism is a good quality but can have its consequences. We will see following this interview with Sofia Prusali, the veterinarian of the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center, with whom we work every day doing our volunteering. I speak all about the care about wildlife animals and not about the plants, trees and other environmental topics because I am doing volunteering in a rehabilitation center. But all of this video could also apply to these later topics. So, enjoy and listen carefully.
So, could you tell me what are the human behaviors faced to wildlife that you see in your experience or in general?
Yes, the thing is that the humans think of loving animals in a very dominant way, in a very selfish way. When we say that we love an animal, we usually want to have it. This is something that we are trying to change with our work here, because humans must respect the life of a wild animal in nature and all the needs that it has there in nature. So we must protect the nature, all the environment that the wildlife is in. So it is a very big thing to cover and multiple things to think about so that you can protect the environment of the wildlife.
Yeah. So you saw sometimes correct behavior, some behavior who impact you, maybe?
I have seen, I want to say something, I have seen little children bringing a wild animal here for care, and they are sad that they let it to us to take care of it, and they want, when it becomes well, to take it back and have it at home. So from little children, we must show them that the wild animal, when it is okay, it has to go back to nature, and we must be happy that it can go back to nature and not in our house. Yeah, this is something that we must work on with young children.
The best actions to respect and take care about the wildlife. So we will listen to the advice from Sofia, but before this, I would like already to give you some tips on how to take care about the wildlife in general. Sofia will speak more about the wildlife animals that are hurt or sick. So the first step would be to become aware of our daily actions and the consequences that they can have on the world, nature and the environment. It is important to be open-minded and to analyze your daily actions. Population increase poses a threat to wildlife as previous resources diminish. Whether it is for science, food or greed, humans endanger animals, sometimes without considering the positive impact wildlife can have on the posterity of our planet. What can you do? Stay informed on the issues. Know your impact in the ecosystem and take your part in protecting wildlife. Earth and its present and future inhabitants will be grateful. Also you can. Prevention, information and awareness are important to enable understanding of how human impacts on our Earth. Become a citizen scientist. Researchers who need help gathering wildlife and insect accounts may turn to the public for help. This provides interesting and fun opportunities for you to easily lend a hand from home. Learn about endangered species. 2. Plant native species. Creating planet and wildlife-friendly environment can start right in your own backyard and in your community. Plant native species of trees, bushes and plants, especially those that flower and provide food sources for wild animals. Trees recycle oxygen, returning it to the atmosphere for us to breathe and absorbing potentially harmful gases along the way. 3. Help the zoos, aquarium and the rehabilitation center of wildlife animals in your community. Zoos and aquarium often have wildlife conservation efforts. There are also a lot of rehabilitation centers in each country and maybe in each area of one country. Find out how you can volunteer to help spread the word about our work to support wild animals. Be curious and take some time in your daily routine to give your support. You can also give your support in doing donations. These structures need to improve their places and their materials to give better care to the rehabilitating animal. 4. Make your world a wildlife haven. In addition to planting native food sources for wildlife in your area, you can also help them by creating habitats like installing bird feeders, baths, and houses. In addition to giving birds necessary shelter and sustenance, watching the birds that visit can be very entertaining. The National Wildlife Federation had other suggestions to make your world wildlife friendly. 5. Avoid harmful chemicals. In our effort to spur lawn growth and control pests, we may turn to chemical solutions, which can be very harmful to wildlife, like bees and butterflies that are helpful to the environment. Fertilizers usually find their way into water sources, polluting rivers and streams, causing harmful algae blooms and poisoning the aquatic life. Instead, opt for natural pest control to discourage critters in your garden and organic fertilizers like animal manure or compost. 6. Pick up trash. Picking up trash not only protects the environment and keeps our surrounding beautiful, but it can also save wildlife. Plastic bags and twine can easily trap birds and other smaller animals, hurting or killing them, and making them easy prey. So put on your gloves, grab some trash bags, and pick up litter to protect wildlife, and keep your neighborhood looking good. 7. Adopt an animal. Protect the animal of your choice on either threatened by endangerment in a far-off land or by abandoning nearby. Defenders of Wildlife lets you symbolically adopt a wild animal of your choosing. Your donation goes to improving habitats research, monitoring, and ultimately saving the species from endangerment. Make it a birthday gift for your animal fanatic friends. 8. Being an activist against animal abuse. For a better conditions of the animal species, for goodwill between man and animal, for respecting for the environment, to put in place new measures to be able to conserve living species. You may be interested in plant demonstration, activist organization, and activism in general. I let you to listen to the interview now.
And so what do you advise when someone finds injured or sick wild animal?
We advise people, and we have the information and the guidelines in our site and in the Facebook. The first thing to do is to call a wildlife hospital. Either it is here, the closest, comparing to the place where the animal is found, and take the advices from the telephone, because sometimes it's not important to take it from the place. It's not will not save it if you take it from the place where it is found.
Okay.
Maybe it is a young bird that needs a few minutes to fly, and the parents are around and take care and protect it. So the man that finds it might have to wait for a few minutes to see if it can fly or not, and see the behavior. That's why we most of the times ask for a video or some pictures. If there is no possibility to take a video and send us, we ask for pictures so that we give the right advices. So if it has to be taken from the place where it is found, then the people must take some cautions, must take some tools to carry. So they need a card box most of the time with some holes so that there is air, but not big holes, small holes. And of course it would be nice to cover the animal with a cloth or a towel, so that they limit the eye contact to the human, and in this way they reduce the stress that the wild animal experiences when a person is close to it.
Okay. Okay. So thank you so much, Sophia.
Thank you.
And see you soon.
See you.
Thanks.
So, to conclude, I would like to show you on this video that it is important to become conscious of our actions, even if we do them with good intentions. For the environment, we must learn good behaviors. In French primary school, pupils now have environmental lessons. It is a good step forward. For the adults, we have not such things, so we have to learn with specialists. We have to question our routine actions and implement small actions every day to create a better world. So, like I explained to you, I am volunteering in a rehabilitation center of wildlife, and I would like to say you cannot save animals without the knowledge or the advice from specialists. You can save these animals by bringing them to a center specified for wildlife. I would like to sensibilize you on this topic, and above all to find some next to where you live, where you can find a center like this. You will see there are a lot, but many do not know of their existence. I would like to thank you so much for listening to me during this video. It was maybe a little long, so sorry for this. It was my ESC project, but above all a project that struck my heart even before I arrived in Greece to Δράση Για Την. So thanks to my boyfriend who supports me every day and above all for this project. Thanks to the other volunteers, Laurie, Garance, Florian, and above all Hela, who edit my writing, to give me their advice and their opinions. Thanks to the beautiful veterinarian Sofia, who accepted to do this interview with me and to publish it on this video, and to teach me a lot of knowledge in the Rehabilitation Center of Wildlife. Thanks to Floso, who taught me a lot too. Thanks to Yorgos, my ESC project coordinator, to follow my adventures and my project. Thanks to Sofia, my ESC mentor, to help me when I need help with English and Greek. Thanks to Δράση Για Την and all the activists in this organization. Thanks for accepting me for this ESC adventure, and just thanks for being who you are, full of love for what you do every day. I put in the description the link of Δράση Για Την social media, so the Facebook, Instagram and the website. Do not hesitate to follow this organization, please. It asks for donation for many different projects to improve the center and the care of the rehabilitating animals. Good action can come through there by following their accounts and giving them strength. Do not hesitate to follow the social networks of the rehabilitation centers near you too. Thanks to me also to do this challenge and to have confidence in my project and to let my creativity do something which is important to me. If you want to follow our adventure in the volunteering, you can follow on Instagram Momodus Life. I put the link in description too. For each day of our volunteering, I will do one post. I say how because I do my volunteering with my boyfriend Quentin. So see you for the next adventure. Bye bye.